Hey guys, it's Jasmine and welcome back to my channel for another Halloween project. We're going to use Mama Elephant Plushoween for this one. We're going to do a little bit of Copic coloring. And the background I have done with some Tim Holtz alcohol inks. I've used Raspberry, Flamingo, and Valencia. And then this is on some Yupo paper. I've had this background kind of floating around my studio for a little while, so I thought it would be kind of cute to use with our little vampire cat. And what I'm doing now is adding some Nouveau Glimmer Paste, which is a really thick glitter paste. It's really fun to work with. But you want to keep the contents of the jar down towards the bottom so it stays a little more moist because it tends to dry out quickly. So spread that over using a 13-ounce star stencil. You can use any star stencil you have in your stash. And you also want to clean your tools as soon as possible because this stuff dries pretty quickly. So what I'm doing there is kind of taking off any of the edges with my palette knife, just so it's clean when you go to apply it to your card base. So there's that. And then I've got my Plushoween stamps using Strathmore, Bristol, Smooth Cardstock, and Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because that's a Copic friendly ink. It's dye-based, so it won't react with the alcohol in the markers. And the colors I'm using are C00 for the white parts, which is his face and his little belly. And then for his feet and the sides of his face, I've got C8 and C9. I colored this kind of modeling my cat Pixie. And she's a black and white, and then she's got a little black dot on her nose. And then for the purple, for the costume part, I've got BV13 and V17. And for the hat, I used, I started with C4, but then I jumped right up to C8 and C9 because that was going to be way too light for the highlight. And you'll see me, for the purple part, use more markers than just the BV13 and the V17, but you don't need to use, I think I tried out probably 4 or 5, you don't need to use that many. Just the BV13 and the V17 will work well. It's kind of hard to get vibrant purples with the V markers. There's a few that are nice and bright, but the BVs lend themselves more to a brighter purple than the V's do in the Copic range. And I've got some RV10 for his ears and little pads of his feet and his nose. And when you're coloring, don't be afraid to kind of test your markers out to see the blendability between two shades, because you can't always go by the marker number system. With the Copics, it's too difficult to explain in this short time, but try them out together and see how they blend. You can do tip to tip if you don't have like a mid-tone shade that you want between your markers, and that's a good way to stretch them as well. If you are new to Copics and you want to learn more about them, go over to artclasses.com and Sandy Allnock's website. She has a few different Copic marker classes that are really helpful. She explains things a lot better than I do. I've taken a few of her classes, and I really recommend them. They're really good. Easy to learn, do at your own pace, and she kind of shows you what to do if you don't have a lot of markers, if you've only got a few. So on the top hat and the top head part of the costume, I only used the BB13 and V17, so hopefully you can see what I mean by only needing those two for the whole outfit. And on the smaller images, you don't need to worry so much about shading and lighting, because it can get kind of difficult to get that the smaller an image is. This guy, probably 2.5 inches tall, by 2 inches wide at the feet part. So he's not huge, but these are fun to color anyway because you can kind of do whatever you want with them. And who doesn't like a vampire cat, you know? It's adorable. So I wanted to keep his belly and his face white, but not completely devoid of color, so I added the C00. And this will all be listed in the blog post that goes with this video, or you can just pause it right there. So this is a sentiment from the Steam stamp set. He embossed it using some black sparkle embossing powder by Ranger, and then I've got some carved pumpkin distress ink over the top, and neat and tangled banner die. And then doing the edges with some picked raspberry. And then I'm going to mount both the cat and the banner on my card base using some foam adhesive. And I've got score tape on the back of the Yupo piece. And that I also die cut using a neat and tangled scallop die. Let's mount that down. And these foam squares are probably 1/16 of an inch or so thick, not super high. But they are nice and sticky, so I really do like them. And they're by Scrapbook Adhesives. Yeah, and then the banner. And then that'll complete the card. So this is a lot of fun, fairly quick and easy to do for the Copic coloring. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day, guys. Hope you enjoy Halloween, and we will see you next time. Bye.